Last week, we experienced one of the largest bank failures since the Great Recession. Silicon Valley Bank's collapse could have a significant impact on immigrant tech workers. Stay tuned. We'll talk about the impact of this collapse on immigrants and beyond. Hello friends, and welcome back to Immigration Channel. This is a place where we explain complex immigration matters in short, simple videos. In this video, we'll talk about the impact of the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank on immigration, specifically impact on immigrant tech workers. Before we dive into this video, if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. So as you know, last week the government closed Silicon Valley Bank, essentially marking the largest bank failure since the Great Recession in 2008. Silicon Valley Bank was very significant to funding many of the startups in Silicon Valley and beyond. Many of these startups employ immigrant workers, and Silicon Valley Bank itself, out of the 4,000 employees that were working in this bank, many of them were immigrants on visas. The collapse of this bank late on Friday of that week created panic in the industry. Many companies were pulling their funds from the bank, and we're also worried whether the money is safe in other financial institutions. Remember that this collapse could be a signal that something worse is coming, and many of these tech companies could potentially stop hiring and start laying off workers. Many of them are here on visas. If you're a foreign worker, losing a job is not just losing a paycheck. It's more devastating than that. It means that you could potentially lose your status and will need to worry about finding a new job in less than 60 days. And as you know, in the past few months, we've already seen a lot of layoffs that started with Twitter, Google, Facebook, and many other companies. And now this bank collapse could set many more companies on a path of not hiring more workers and considering terminating workers that are currently in the United States, and many of them are currently holding H-1B visas and other visas. And remember, if you lose your job on an H-1B visa, and we've done quite a few videos that explain what you can do if you lose your job as a sponsored employee, typically most laid off H-1B workers have 60-day grace period to be able to find another job or switch to a different status. And remember that now, with the panic that is happening and the uncertainties that could come as a result of the collapse of this bank, many other companies could start laying off workers, could stop the green card processing a lot of foreign workers, and that's going to create some chaos and turmoil. And trust me, I'm getting a lot of calls from worried employees that are concerned about what's going to happen in the next few months. The good news is that the government is aware of these issues, and they have issued guidelines to help workers in transition, essentially saying that while you're on the grace period, if you file an extension of stay or a change of status, you'll be considered in legal status while this extension is pending beyond the 60 days. So they are aware that people are struggling, they're aware that people are worried, and they're definitely going to be more flexible with applicants that are being in transition, looking for a new job, looking to get rehired. So these are good news coming from the USCIS. The other impact of this bank failure is that a lot of these startups that are being funded are owned, operated by foreign founders, and it's going to get much more difficult to raise money or obtain funding to continue to build those startups and continue to pay the salaries of their employees. Many of them are here on H-1B visas. And remember, if you cannot pay your employees, their visas mean nothing, because the USCIS, all they care about is that you get paid every single month. Otherwise, if you don't get paid, your visa status essentially is worthless. Quite a few things can happen as a result of this crisis. Obviously, the government is working on protections for this bank and other institutions, and we'll keep you posted once we have more information. The bottom line is that these are very sensitive times right now. If you're a tech worker, if you're a tech founder, you obviously have a lot of stress. And so it's important to be aware of your options, of your rights, and always have a plan B. Plan B is important in case something happens to your job, in case something happens to your startup. There are definitely options. We're here to help you. If you have any questions, if you need help with any of your immigration matters, all you have to do is send me a text, 619-483-4549. We're here to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.